Morning guys, we're back at the log cabin today for another segment of the log cabin build. We're going to be finishing the interior today. Hopefully we can, get a good jump on that before the, the winter weather comes. I've got some big plans for the inside. I got a wood stove all lined up. I've got some insulation for the ceiling. I've got some ceiling cladding, and I've got some plans for bedding and workstations and cupboards and shelves and all that good stuff. This video is sponsored by Ecoflow Delta. There'll be more on that later. It's a really useful power pack that helps me do anything I want in the bush. Portable power. I've actually brought everything down. So like a big part of a lot of this work is actually getting your materials organized, and I spared you guys the details of actually making the actual wood. So we've got quite the stack of ash paneling, and that's going to be our ceiling. And then we've got our rigid foam board insulation, and that's going to be our insulation in our ceiling. I've got an old wood stove I ended up picking up. A little sand and paint. Hopefully get that thing all sorted out so it's nice. We got Bean's here for the entertainment. She's like, let's just go lay down somewhere and snuggle. We're not going to do that, right, Bean? We're going to work. You're my branch manager today? Yeah, Bean's gonna collect, and I got some special people coming along today to help. I got my father here, his name's Don, and I've got Don coming this afternoon. And yeah, let's get started. You having some difficulty over there?
Yeah.
Won't go?
Won't go.
What's the problem?
More fresh wood, I guess.
Fresh wood? We need dry wood.
Dry wood, yeah.
We got a little smudge fire going on there. Okay, so this is what we're working with. This is our blank slate. This is the interior of the cabin. As you can see, there is no ceiling. There is no formal insulation in the ceiling. So that's what primary goal today is, to button up that. So it's kind of like, airtight in order to finish the other stuff. So we've got some big plans, big ambitions today. We got trim, baseboard. Gonna be a little bit of a bed over here. We got a wood stove over here, and lighting. We gotta need some lighting in here. We got our construction light just hanging right here. This is our construction light bulb. Anytime I have a crazy repetitive task, I always like to set myself up a little table in order to not have to bend down so much. I find that if I have a table, I can pretty much work all day without, at the end of the day, not even feeling like I did anything at all. It's the bending down part, I figure. The older you get, the more you like, it just kind of sucks to bend down. And I'm told if you change your socks in the middle of the day, it's also like a breath of fresh air, or like a little nap. So you've already got a formal introduction. This is the secondary formal introduction. This is my dad, Don. There comes Frankie coming flying by. Don is tasked with cleaning up the area, and the problem is we've got piles. We've got so many piles, and we've got to deal with them. There's a pile over there that he's been tasked with kind of slowly feeding into the fire. We've got problem is we've got too many piles that are sitting around, and it's forest fire fuel. So we're getting it off the ground. Winter's coming, so we want to be able to kind of clean the area up. We got a place for tobogganing and stuff. So that's what he's going to be doing all day. All day. We'll check back with you at the end of the day, see how the pile's gone.
Hi, guys.
See the pile he's got to deal with? This is just like a game of pickup sticks. He's got this pile over here. You can't even see. The pile's bigger than him. Anyways, that's his plan. That's his plan. Always feels good if you can get rid of a mess. I am procrastinating, apparently. I need to put up styrofoam. It's my favorite job. Put up styrofoam. Okay, fire foam. Look at that, we got one side done. It's so hot in here, I gotta take my sweater off. It's hot. Anyways, I should introduce these guys. There'll be a link in the description below if you want one of these beautiful sweaters. They got t-shirts and other cool stuff there in the merchandise shop. Pretty cool, huh? We got all the insulation up. We got the edges spray foamed where the gaps were a little bit too big, and all the seams are taped. And this is what I'm going to put up next. This is ash. It's about a ½ inch thick. It's milled on the Norwood sawmill. And I scribed my first piece. Scribed. And that's going to go right up in the crack. And then we're going to cover all of the styrofoam insulation with this wood. And then once the wood shrinks a little bit, because it's not quite dry, we're going to add battens to all the cracks that open up. So that should give us a nice finished ceiling. I'll give you guys a little bit of a show on this thing, and then you guys don't have to watch the rest of it because it's gonna be tedious. That's optimism, right? Tediousness. Progress. We're making good progress. We've got this one side section done. It looks beautiful. Everything fits really nice. It's actually good in there because it's actually floating. It's floating ceiling now. It's not even nailed in because it's wedged between this and the other thing. So that'll work out well for me because that'll allow it to dry out, and then I can put my battens on and everything will be wedged in place. Or I could put like a circular, almost like a dowel-like or a tree branch up there to give it even more places to be secure, and then let it move and breathe and stuff. Wood tends to like doing that sort of thing. And then we've got this guy we're working on right now, which is we've got it scribed around the log on the outside wall, and I'm eating out sawdust. And yeah, we're gonna duplicate what we did on that side on this side, and then we'll be done. Slowly but surely we're making our way. We're making progress. It's taken a long time because we have to scribe the start piece of the ceiling wood in order to get it to fit tight against the logs, and it isn't exactly straight. So this is what our solution to the problem with having the boards kind of go down, and then there was a gap here. So we ended up filling this little section here with another trim piece. We did matched on the other side in order to kind of finish that gap up, because I don't think there's another way. I guess we could also put it on the upper side underneath this log as well in order to kind of match the same thing. I haven't quite decided if I want to do that yet, but I'm looking at it now going, man, it's probably gonna happen, but it's not critical at this stage. We can probably put that in after, give us a nice snug corner, and then yeah, I think it looks pretty cool so far. We just got to do the upper level, which is twice the work because it's up the ladder. So let's add some more wood. She's never gonna get done unless we do it. Look at that, I almost got it all done. I just gotta put one more trim piece in. You guys can't even tell I needed to trim piece. You could kind of see it right about there. I've already got the one piece to trim in, and this kind of covers the gap. I can see it, you guys probably can't see it. It's attention to detail that matters. One last piece to go for this side. You ever wonder why your bandsaw blade starts working in midway but you didn't really hear anything? Found Don says it's a little 22 bullet. It's malleable. It's kind of chipping off. It's kind of like lead. A lead bullet! So much for that blade. I was wondering why when I was cutting the siding, or not the siding, the roofing material, it was kind of wavy for no reason, but I guess this is the culprit. A bullet. It's better than a nail. It's not as hard as a nail. Fire brick fell apart. What do you think, Bean? A good fireplace? I got myself another old wood burning stove. It's a Century stove, I believe. It's circa 1994, if you guys can think back that far. It's got a little bit of surface rust, but it seems to be in pretty good shape. The door gasket seems to be decent, and you know, the glass is, you know, immaterial, but it looks like it's good. We're just you know, reading the back plate to ensure that we do our proper clearances and whatnot. With a double wall pipe on the top of the chimney, you can get away with, I believe, 6 inches of clearance from your double wall pipe. If you have a stove with no ratings on it, like no back plate, they recommend 36 inches from combustible surfaces. But we have a plate on this guy, and it says our distance to combustible surfaces being 18 inches, and you can reduce that significantly with heat shields. But I recommend doing your own research on the specific stove that you have in order to maintain proper clearances, because you wouldn't want anything to burn down. Let's I got cement board for the bottom, and that's going to go on the floor next to the where the stove's going to sit on, and then the stove's going to go on top. And then I've got I got to buy some pipe, which kind of sucks because it's really expensive. So I want to make sure it's in place, and I want to measure like 14 times in order to ensure I've got the right pipes and not a millimeter too long, because like I said, you don't want to be buying the pipe that's too expensive, double wall. Anyways, let's get this thing in. See, I'm stalling because I don't want to lift this thing. Don 1 and Don 2, what are you guys doing?
We're making a fire.
You guys burning stuff?
Making smoke.
The Dawn and their natural habitats. They're just, you got a little bit of a smudge fire going on there, Dad.
Sorry about that.
Is there any flame on that thing?
There is on this side.
No mosquitoes, right?
No mosquitoes.
Yes, smoke tends to shy away. He's just cleaning up the area because we got a lot of deadfall. There's been some crazy winds, so he's been shoveling on the fire for going on 2 days now, cleaning stuff up in and around the cabin. Trim it a little bit. The plan today, guys, was to install the fireplace, was to put, you know, at my outside chimney cap, pipe, flashing, whatever have you, and then tie it into my double wall pipe over here, and then put some 45-degree elbows from here up to about there. But I went shopping over the last couple of days to try to get some 45-degree double wall chimney pipe, 6-inch, and I can't find any. I've gone to a number of stores, and they're like, well, either A, they don't have any, they're not getting any, they're not coming in, or it's too early in the season, which I don't know. Late September is not necessarily late in the season when it comes to installing chimney pipe. It's kind of like you got to get it in before winter. I'd imagine they should have it stocked. So I don't know if it's a supply chain issue or it's just, I don't know, people are getting lazy. They're not stocking their stores. These aren't even small stores I'm going to. These are large stores and they just don't have anything. The other thing was I was on my excursion to get stuff. I was looking for a mattress. So I went to a large big box store to get a mattress, and they're like, well, we have one. I'm like, what? You have one bed. They have one bed. So I bought one bed. I want bunk beds. I want 2, but I got one. So it's going to have one until I guess they fix that and they order another one, I guess. I don't know. It's just kind of odd that a town of 100,000 people, there would be one bed in stock. Anyways, so that's what I got. I got one bed. I've got part chimney pipes. I don't have enough to finish it. So instead, I'm going to work on what I have. And then it'll be my little kitchenette over here, which is going to go right there. I think I got everything for that. So might as well start somewhere, get stuff done that I can get done, and not worry about supply chain issues. Let somebody else deal with that. But like I've always said, it's always better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And right now, I need it and don't have it. This video is sponsored by Ecoflow Delta. It has the world's fastest charging time, from 0 to 80% in under an hour. One of the key features with Ecoflow Delta is the X-Boost technology, which allows you to power devices up to 1800 watts worth of draw, or up to 13 devices simultaneously. Using the EF Delta's X-Boost technology, you can power devices up to 1800 watts. For example, you can use either like a toaster oven or even like an induction range cooktop, or power tools to table saws. This Ecoflow Delta specifically packs a huge punch. The pack itself has 6 outlets that can each power 1800 watt devices. Huge capacity at 1260 watt hours. That allows you to run things for even longer. With the 6 AC outlets on the back, it allows you to power 6 devices 1800 watts each. It also allows you to have a 3300 watt surge, so powering your DIY tools like your table saw with that initial startup, this pack will be able to handle all those initial startups. Even like a fridge compressor turning on, if it has under 3300 watts of surge, it'll start at no problem. Another feature with Ecoflow is the ability to charge by solar. This thing can be fully charged within 4 hours. It can also be charged by your car using the 12-volt adapter in 10 hours. Some of the features about this battery pack that I like especially is the fact that it has 2 handles. It is not necessarily a light device, but with 2 handles it's easy to carry. You can get it close to your body and it's easy to carry. Did I mention it was easy to carry? Anyway. And there's bumper pads on the bottom, so it allows you to kind of, be a little rough with it. You can't be too rough with it, but it's got little shock absorbers on the bottom. So when you're moving it around, it doesn't feel like you're gonna break it. On the back of the Ecoflow, you've got a standard, it looks like a computer cord, and that'll plug into the wall, so you're super fast charging that way. It'll do up to 80% in under an hour. And then you got your solar hookup back here. And I believe each solar panel that they sell has 160 watt capacity. So you can gang those things up to get yourself your solar charging. On the front, you've got the opportunity to turn on your DC voltage. So if you turn your DC voltage, let's do that. It allows you to have your USB ports, USB-A, USB-C, your fast charge, and the like. So you can turn that on, you can turn that off. It also gives you on, off. On the display, it gives you an indication on working load. So if you plug in, say, your toaster and you run it, it'll tell you how long you can run your toaster before the battery's dead. On the other side is the line voltage, or the AC voltage. It's got 6 ports that allows you to power up to 1800 watt devices on them. So there's 6 outlets. It's got the inverter. You push the button, turns on. AC is now pumping AC current out of this battery pack. And here's your car outlet. Or, as the old guys would say, the cigarette lighter adapter. I'm not even sure they call them that anymore. Carport. It's called the carport, not the cigarette lighter adapter. So there you go. Ecoflow Delta. Packs a lot of punch. The plan of where I'm standing is sort of a kitchenette. I'm going to make somewhat of a table. That's going to be a little prep area. So you can prep area. I got a induction range, induction cooktop, so I can, ultimately this is the sugar shack at the very end. So I can have my induction little cooktop to finish my maple syrup if I want to do it here. And then I've got a toaster oven, because it's always nice to have sort of like a, make toast, sit by the fire, make a little tiny pizza. Anyways, that's what's going to go here. But first I need a platform. So countertop height, maybe storage area underneath. I need a place for my power packs or my power. And it's going to sit in here nicely. We just got to make it. So I've got some stuff made up. I've got a live edge slab for the top. Let's get started. Now that I got my boxes set up, I'm going to set up my laser, and that'll allow me to give a horizontal line, a level line, in order to attach my shelves. Anytime you're dealing with an irregular surface like a log cabin, it's always easier to use a laser because it kind of floats around the thing. You don't have to fiddle with a laser or a regular level, just kind of sitting on top. You can just kind of follow the line, so self-leveling. You see the laser? That's my level line. So that's what's going to be the top of the countertop, and then I've got another live edge slab that's going to go on top of that. And that's going to be my countertop surface. So it's easy as that. I just got to, it looks like there's some knobs on the side walls. I'm just gonna flatten out a bit. I ended up using a lot of the leftover framing that we used for the cabin in order to build my kitchen prep area. I started off with a base, and then I took a 2x4, ripped it in half, and added uprights. Once I had my uprights on, I added another cross member in order to support the countertop. The countertop is made out of ash wood. It's got live edges on both sides. It wasn't quite big enough, so I ended up splicing in a piece of butter knife at the top. I figured I'm going to use it for a while and then figured exactly what I want to do here. I've left enough space in order to add a kitchen sink if I want to in the future. but I figure I'll try it out as it is and see where we get. We've got our countertop in. It looks pretty decent. It's got a little bit of, we'll call it inclusions. It's like a diamond in the rough, right? So it's got some cracking down the center and some, you know, it wasn't quite wide enough, but you know what? I kind of like the contrast. So what I've got on the back here is a piece of butternut, and then I've got the ash chunk in the middle. And as you can see, there is a crack down the center of it. So I could, you know, polish this thing up and then you know, make this all pretty right now, but it's not quite dry. So because I don't really have that much storage around here, like dry storage, so the stuff doesn't quite get its chance to fully dry out until it's kind of in place. So I'm gonna let that sit there for, you know, maybe a season, and then I can revisit it and buff it all out and give it maybe epoxy coating or something like that, just to kind of fill in the gaps and cracks and holes. And I'll also get a, you know, good chance to use it to kind of see if I exactly like it, because it's always kind of like a build in progress. I've just got to fill in the lower half for more storage down below. That's, like I said, that's where my power pack's going to go. And yeah, this cabinetry should be done. My kitchen prep area, my little kitchenette. I like it. It's rustic. It's also solid. Like, it's 1.5 inch ash. It's, you could do some, you could chop wood on that bad boy. She's solid. We've come to the time of the day where we kind of need some lighting. Actually, if you guys watched way back when we did the original cabin build, I was looking for wall sconces, and these are the wall sconces I was looking for. They're the ceramic wall sconce. You could paint them. Right now I'm just gonna leave them raw, and what I've wired them up is kind of like a lamp. So they've got just a cord, an old cord from, I believe it's a vacuum cleaner, so it's got high gauge copper wire, and it's like I said, wired up like a lamp. So that's connected to my my Ecoflow Delta down below on a power bar. That allows me to turn all the inside lighting on. I'm going to put another wall sconce over here at some point when I get another cord, and I'm thinking some task lighting, some under counter lighting here. That'll give us some lighting on my workspace here. I think that'll give us enough lighting that, because you know what I mean? I like the indirect lighting in here. Like, this is like just glorious lighting. It is overcast outside today, so it's not extra bright in here, but the warmth of the cabin is what I'm going for, is just a warm place to kind of relax. You're gonna have the fire going at some point where you'll have the glow of the fireplace and the glow of the light off the ceiling. This thing's gonna be just like the warmest light ever. For my under cabinet lighting, I'm gonna use this LED Berg, and it's an IKEA little light. It comes with a little puck light, so you can mount underneath this guy here to give me some task lighting. I have some left over, so this is what I'm going to use here. It's got a little switch, so when you don't need it, you can turn it off. But it uses so little voltage that it probably won't even notice being on. Who designs these things? Look at the size of this screw. Look at it. Can you see how big that is? Like, it doesn't even want to, it's like the size of like the tip of a needle. Anyways. And you gotta kind of go. Lose patience. Of course it would strip out. Success! Oh, there we go. Well, as you guys can see, it's pretty dark in here without any light. It might be a little overcast. Anyways, you need light. Nighttime's coming. We gotta get our light. So what we're gonna do is I've made a specific location under the cooking area because this is kind of where most of the power is going to be used. So what I'm gonna do is actually add these power packs under here and then hook them up. There is a feature with these specific battery packs to gang them up, meaning you can hook two together, and what they do is they double your capacity, and then you only have to plug stuff into one device. It kind of like cycles through to the other one. So what they recommend to do is to actually charge both packs up to 100% capacity and then connect one through the outlet of the one port into the inlet of the other port, and that allows them to connect them in series. Or is it parallel? I think it's parallel because they're not increasing the voltage, we're increasing the amperage. So we're gonna double our watt hour capacity by ganging both packs together. Now that we have both packs ganged up together, I'm gonna hook up my lights. And in this situation, what I've done with my lights is I've hooked them up kind of like lamps. So that allows me to have a bunch of outlet cords to plug into a power bar, and then in turn I took the power bar and I plug it into my power packs, and that allows me to have lighting inside. Got my toaster oven. It's gonna go right about here, and then I've drilled a hole through the countertop, and that allows me to get to my power packs down below. That's where my toaster goes. I've never had an induction cooktop before. What do you do? To turn on? What does it say? Should read the directions. E1, what does that mean? Maybe it wants a thing on top. We'll figure that out. Let's do the toaster. I need the grill. Where's the grill? Grills. Grill in? Okay, we're just gonna run this thing for demonstration purposes. Toast. It's toasted. How much water are we using? On. I guess it's not voice activated. Oh, there we go. We just turned that thing up to 11. We're at 1139 watts. That's crazy. I didn't ever think I'd be running a toaster with a battery. That's insane. Look how hot that is. That's crazy. That's insane. We're running, I guess we got both battery packs linked up. We're running 1125 watts output, and the feed pack is actually feeding it, so it actually doubles our capacity. So that's what we're doing here. It shows here we can run it for we can run that toaster. It'll deplete the one pack if it runs it for an hour. So at 1124 watts, it'll depreciate the thing in 58 minutes, 57 minutes. It's not an exact science. It's just kind of cycling back and forth. Really, you're going to be running it for like 2 minutes. So how much is it going to deplete your pack? We won't really know. Although we know it's going to make toast. Because look at that glow. That's a glow. Toast is done. You use it to heat the cabin. That's crazy. As it turns out, the induction cooktop requires something magnetic to be on it in order to turn on. So I don't have any water in this thing or my coffee grounds. It's not quite coffee time yet. But if I put that thing on there and I hit the on button, she fires up, she runs. It gets crazy hot, crazy quick. We're drawing, what are we drawing? 987 watts on that thing, but it's crazy hot quick. That's what an induction cooktop works. That's gonna make coffee extra fast. We're gonna do that a little bit later. But first, we gotta work on the bed. So on the way to get the mattress, on the side of the road, I saw an old school futon. How lucky is that? It's not exactly the perfect size, but I've got the technology to modify it slightly in order to for it to fit, because my mattress itself I think is 39 by 70 something, and it's gonna go right over here. My dad's trying to dodge. Where are you going? Where are you going? He's helping. My dad's helping today. This is Dawn.
Hello.
So we're gonna go here. We're gonna make a bed. Sound like a plan, Dad?
That's the plan.
That's the plan? Does it sound like a good plan?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Everybody needs a bed.
That's right. Lay your head down at night. So that's the plan right there. It's gonna fit right there at some point. It just sneaks by the window. So we're gonna hack that bad boy up. We're gonna put some new legs on it, and we're gonna allow the option for a bunk bed in the future. So the post on the one side is gonna go all the way up and secure to the wall somewhat. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Apparently this mattress will grow over the next 72 hours to its full size of 5 inches. That's a lot of time to let it grow. It is comfy. Oh, that's good. Oh. I imagine it's going to be more comfy when it's 5 inches thick. Gotta get the crumbs out of here. This is a nice, this is comfy. Just in time too, the skies have opened up and it's decided to rain. We're talking like biblical proportions of rain. In the next couple of days, you're talking like 100 millimeters of rain, which in American, that's a lot of rain. So that's it's time to go inside and enjoy the cabin. Let's go. Let's head on in. Let's give you the old dime tour, as they say. Let's close the door. You can see it's got the close the door. We've got the kitchen prep areas all set up. My coffee supplies, it's nice and sealed so the mice don't get in it. We've got our little French press there, and I got my ever favorite McCafe. So when you're not going to McDonald's, you got your McDonald's that comes to you. Oh, did I mention we got mugs now? We got the modern stuff, Reliance mugs. Those are available at our merch store. The link will be in the description below. Like I said, we were powering the entire build with the Ecoflow Delta, and this is where this is going to live, is in this cabin. Forever. This is where the Ecoflow lives, in the log cabin. We've got the toaster oven, so if you want to make toast or little pizzas or whatnot, you can use a toaster oven. And we've got the induction range, so if you want to boil water, you want to make a stew, or heck, if you want to boil craft dinner, or in my case, the ever favorite little espresso maker, which works really well. It boils the water in like a minute, and a quick cup of coffee on a nice rainy day. I got mugs. I got my little antler sheds. We found these guys on the property walking around. The deers shed those things naturally, and you find them on the ground. Bean usually finds them, actually, or the Frankie. They like, the dogs seem to find them. Actually, the fun thing with this guy, the paddle. Fun fact on this paddle. I won this paddle during a sandcastle building contest when I was about 8 or 9 or 10. Don't exactly know the age. We've got our wall sconces up here. Those are powered with AC voltage hooked up to the Ecoflow packs. I've got some old hand tools that I've got. So decorations. I tend not to use hand tools, but they're good to have. And in case, you know, your batteries run out or whatnot, you got a block plane and the old hand drill. Manuel. We got some oak chairs. I've got a set of 4 actually. Found them on the side of the road. I got my little poof, which is just comfy. I saw it and I like it. The other, this was a side of the road lamp as well. It actually came with a light bulb, which is kind of cool. Got a fluorescent light bulb, low voltage, low wattage, low voltage. It's not low voltage, it's low wattage. We've got some of the charcuterie boards. Actually, just one. One of the charcuterie boards that I made. This is the spalted maple charcuterie board. So it's good for use as a cutting board. We've got our cast iron because people love cast iron. Got my little egg fryer here. I've got my bigger egg fryer, steak fryer, cast iron. Those work on the induction range. Anything that's magnetic works on the induction range. We've got our firewood rack for our firewood, and we've got our wood stove over here. And the wood stove, what I like to do when it's not necessarily heating, but you want that ambiance, you want the color, I put a candle in it. So that's what's in there now. We got the candle burning. It gives us the glow, but not the heat, because we don't necessarily need the heat today. But anyways, as I was talking before, the chimney isn't quite installed because I need some double wall elbows. I managed to find a source for those, and they are on their way. So that'll be an extra, a day project or something like that to cut in the hole in the roof. You guys don't want to watch that anyways. Cut the hole in the roof and get that all sorted out, and yeah. So anyways, so we're back to the bed. We got is it a foam mattress? The memory foam mattress. I ended up picking that up. I wanted to because I want to do bunk beds, but I could only find one. So there's one. And then I happened to find as a futon bed frame, again, on the side of the road when I went to buy the mattress. It's funny how things like that work out for me. So modified that, and I guess the plan in the future is to put a smaller bunk. I don't want it to be exactly the same size, maybe a little bit more narrow, kind of right about here. And it'll give me like a post with an upper level deck. So maybe, Lena or somebody like that can sit up on the upper level, put probably handrail so she doesn't roll off. And that gives her a nice little spot to stay. And if you guys have ever seen an induction cooktop, it works based on magnetism. I don't know exactly how it works. As long as your pot or pan is magnetic, I guess mostly iron, it'll work. It doesn't work on aluminum. But what's really cool about it is it uses electricity very efficient because it can, I don't know, excites the electrons. I'm sure somebody's going to tell me how the induction range works. As long as your pot's magnetic, it works. So we turn this guy on. We set it to 8. It doesn't go any past 8. And it goes. And it fires up. And this thing, we can almost do this thing real time. So there's water in my little espresso maker. And we're setting it to boil. And it's going to go from room temperature water to boiling in about a minute, which is crazy. It's not that much water, but it's still enough water that if you want a coffee in a hurry. And we've got, just to show you, just to give you an indication here. So on our energy pack, it tells you how much power is left, how much water is used. You can already hear it boiling. So we're using 1,000 watts. This thing's drawing 1,000 watts, and she's already bubbling. She's already started boiling. We're real time. We're a minute 28 seconds. We're boiling already. We're making our coffee. Minute 40. Minute 40. That's fast. Anyways, that was just to give you an indication on how well that thing works. We've got almost a full coffee made. We can just turn that off. We're back to thing. Energy says, okay, not drawing any power, drops back down. That's what you need on a rainy day. Final thoughts on the Ecoflow Delta power packs. These guys are awesome. They worked really well for the entire build. They powered everything I needed to power, from the jigsaw to the sander to like the cordless or the skill saw, powering my batteries when I was recharging my batteries. We're at 61% on the one battery, and we're at 100% on the other. So it hasn't even gone to the second battery. These things are workhorses, especially like for off-grid usage or even for emergency use at your home. If you guys, you can charge these things up and you can put them on the shelf. They have a shelf life. The battery itself will stay charged for a year once you've charged it up. That's pretty cool. So a solution for off-grid, for car camping, for emergency occasions at your house. The Ecoflow Delta is where it's at. It'll do, like I said before, 1800 watt usage for like your high drain devices. And it's got 6 ports on the back to plug in. It's got DC voltage. It's got everything. You guys can check them out. Link will be in the description below. And yeah, thanks Ecoflow. That's it. That's my log cabin. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And join me on the next one.